A girl stood in the middle of the crowd, her eyes wide with shock, holding the torn pieces of her shirt in trembling hands. Gasps filled the air. Laughter, then silence. That girl was Claire Bennett. The same girl no one noticed, just a few. Weeks ago, the same girl who barely raised her voice above a whisper. But in that moment, something inside her snapped. What happened next would leave the entire school in stunned silence and change her life forever. Claire wasn't always invisible. But when her mom died 2 years ago, something in her dimmed. She stopped singing in choir, stopped speaking. Up in class, her world shrank to the quiet corners of the school library, oversized hoodies, and a notebook she'd never let out of her sight. Inside that notebook were poems, sketches, and secrets she never dared to share. Not even with her dad, who was struggling in his own way, working 2 jobs to keep their world from falling apart. Asterisk at Pine Creek High, popularity was currency, and Claire was broke. Asterisk Madison Langley ruled the school like it was her birthright cheer. Captain Instagram famous and daughter of the local mayor, where groupishly Bree and Kendall were the untouchable elite. Claire wasn't even on their radar. Not until prom season. Asterisk C. Claire had a crush, a dumb innocent crush on Luke Ramirez, the star of the wrestling team. Luke had always been kind to her in the small ways that meant everything. A smile in the hallway. Holding the door. Once, he even picked up her books after they spilled. To Claire, he was the embodiment of light in her gray world. Asterisk, and so. After weeks of internal war, she wrote him a note. Handwritten, honest, vulnerable. It wasn't just a promposal, it was her heart, raw and trembling, wrapped in a folded page. She slipped it into his locker, his cheeks burning with fear and hope. But Claire didn't know Madison had been watching. That night, Madison snapped a photo of the note. The next day, it was posted on every school story, captioned, "When the library mouse thinks she's Cinderella." Asterisk Claire's heart sank as she walked through the halls, greeted by whispers and cruel stares. Someone meowed at her. Someone else bumped her tray at lunch, making her soup spill all over her lap. But the worst was yet to come. Asterisk Friday was the gym assembly for prom nominations. The bleachers were packed, the air buzzing with fake cheers and phone flashes. Claire sat at the farthest edge, hoping to disappear. Madison's crew strutted onto the gym floor like it was their private runway. Asterisk then Luke was called on stage. Claire's heart pounded when his name echoed. For a moment, she thought maybe he'd say something kind. Maybe he'd defend her, asterisk, but Luke stayed silent. Asterisk then came the dare. It wasn't spoken into a mic. It didn't need to be. Madison walked up to Claire, smirking, eyes glinting with cruelty. Asterisk, you wanted your big prom moment, didn't you, Claire? She hissed. Smile for the crowd. Asterisk, before Claire could react, Bree and Ashley yanked her arms. Madison grabbed the front of Claire's shirt and ripped it down the middle with a loud tear. The crowd gasped. Some kids laughed. Someone filmed asterisk. But Claire didn't cry. Not this time. Asterisk, her breath slowed. Her eyes focused not on the crowd but on Madison. Something surged inside her. Forgotten fire. A buried strength. Asterisk, what no one at Pine Creek knew was that Claire's mom had been a martial arts instructor. And before she passed, Claire trained with her every weekend. Until grief buried those memories under silence. Asterisk, but in that moment something awoke. Asterisk, Claire dropped her backpack, took a step forward, and in one swift motion, executed a perfect roundhouse kick that knocked the phone out of Madison's hand, sending it flying across the gym floor. Asterisk, the crowd fell silent, completely silent. Asterisk, Claire turned to Bree. Her voice rang out clear and strong. Asterisk, I'm done being your joke. Asterisk. And then she walked out of the gym. Head held high, shirt ripped, but spirit whole. What followed was a storm. The video went viral. But not the one Madison's friends filmed. Someone had caught the entire moment from the bleachers. The bullying, The bravery, the roundhouse kick. It exploded across social media. Hashtag Claire Strong started trending. Teachers, parents, even alumni spoke out. Asterisk Madison and her crew were suspended. Luke issued a public apology, but Claire never responded. She didn't need to. Asterisk what mattered was that she started speaking up again.